All right, and welcome back to episode 046 of the OK Podcast, powered by the Strength Code. Today's date is November the 12th, day after Veterans Day, which is the second best day of the year after the Marine Corps birthday. We'll talk lots about. The price of Bitcoin is $87,071. I'm kind of getting tired of winning. We're like on the cusp of 90, like we're right there. It's pretty great. Year of our Lord 2024. We're recording live from the upstate of South Carolina. That's where I am. Last I checked, still powered by the Strength Code. This is where we operate out of. And if we ever move, we'll tell the IRS this is where we spend more than half of the days of the year.
That's right.
Major Jeff Biggie, Marine Commander, Nacho Battery, formerly known as November. I'm just kidding. November Battery. 514 coming from Mormon
Super
Paradise and Mormon in the Mormon church. They just call it Utah.
That's true.
And I do like some of their history that like the ark floated down the Mississippi. Like they have to be the most American religion. It's just like, the ark. Yeah, it floated down the Mississippi. That's how we ended the Civil War. And Captain Trey Gottlich, Marine type, once a Marine, always a Marine. He's half as lean, twice as mean, but he's still a Marine.
There it is.
Coming out of Frisco. Well, where are you today? You're not in
Midland.
Midland. You're in Midland.
Odessa.
Oh, no.
Man.
I want to go to Odessa.
My favorite city in Texas, Midland.
It says nobody.
Yeah. Home of former President George W. Bush. I've been to his birth house there.
Pretty sure that's not true. I thought he was born up in the Northeast.
Okay, now let's just get right into fact checking ourselves. I went to a house in Midland that has something to do.
It's
with
a guy named
Bush.
George Bush was born there, just not the president.
No, just different guy.
Bush Family Home State Historic Site.
Okay.
Texas Historical Committee. So it's Texas history, not federal history. So it could be incorrect.
Yeah, right.
They want me to subscribe. I just know things.
What if I just Google where was George Bush? Is this 43?
Real quick, senior veteran price is only $3. Give me some history. The Bush family left New England to make a new start in West Texas. George and Barbara Bush moved constantly since they married on January 6th, 1945. Get me to the point.
I have it right here. Do you want me to just read it to you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you put a lot of work into this, but I feel bad.
Yeah.
Okay. George Walker Bush was born July 6, 1946 at Grace New Haven Hospital in New Haven, Connecticut.
Okay, so it was the home where he grew up. It's all coming back.
So he wasn't born here. He just got here as quick as he could.
Yeah.
He was manufactured a Yankee.
Yeah.
He was designed in Texas.
But I guarantee you he has told his family in the will that when he dies, take me to Texas because he's a child of the Alamo.
His dad's down at A&M.
Not the start I expected.
He's not moving
46.
Hey, we're at 88 now, though.
We're at 88. Bitcoin. Oh, so you can see it on the camera?
Yeah.
The angle I have, you can't see it.
Amazing.
Yeah, we're pumping. So real quick, not financial advice, but if you were an early subscriber to this podcast, Mom, who didn't buy any Bitcoin, you missed out because we've literally more than doubled Bitcoin. It's been the effort of 3 guys plus PJ, just coming at you every single week, and we won't stop until we're on the moon. So Bitcoin is pumping. There's a lot of stuff going on. The Elon thing is official.
Yep.
Department of Government Efficiency.
Yep.
I feel like that only helps the crypto. Although what I've always said is a sovereign government must hate crypto. But I don't know. Seems like everything's on the up and up.
Is a serious question for you. Can that clock go to 6 figures?
Yeah. No, it can.
Oh, okay.
I think. Yeah,
we'll find out.
We must see it. You might get a second clock.
That would be great.
The 6-figure, call it the 6-figure clock. Made by Strength Co.
Yeah, out of cast iron.
Yeah,
all made out of cast iron.
It just doesn't move. It just
doesn't move. It just sits there, and it weighs 45 pounds.
You have to manually move the numbers yourself.
Yes.
You're like, why do I have this?
I've already been
increments
thinking,
of 5.
Yeah, when Bitcoin gets to 100,000, I'm like, I can't wait to put the block clock on a 100-pound plate and I don't know, post something.
Lift it.
Something.
Yeah,
Post it.
that. All of that.
Yeah, lifting. A big lifter guy over here. My lifting, I'm just constantly lifting.
Lifting and drinking.
I heard you just
Lifting.
Just hit a
Lifting
PR.
more than I ever know. A baby PR.
Every day's dad PR every day.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah. This is my first time deadlifting 495 by being the father of a 3-week, 2-day-year-old.
There you go.
Sounds like a record book.
Never
to
done
me.
it before.
Never done it.
You never done it?
Thanks for tuning in. We got a lot of exciting stuff to talk about.
So
thanks for the comments on Spotify. They came rolling in. I don't know what we did. I don't know if it was dad sympathy. I don't know what changed, but everyone just wants to make this is a family friendly podcast, a smart Alec post now. But I like it. So keep commenting. YouTube subscribers are through the roof. I mean, any day now will be at 500. So you can't really afford
500,000. Is that what you?
I checked it.
Yeah. We're talking mobile Bitcoin prices.
Okay.
I feel like I think we gain an average of 1.5 per week, if my math's correct.
Hey, that's like way faster than my family grows. So I mean, that sounds like a win. Yeah. So if you don't subscribe on YouTube, please go subscribe, comment there. We appreciate all the support. www.theokpodcast.com. We are brought to you by none other than BW Tax. There's a little tax. Yeah, good dude.
Better taxes.
Little tax thing. There's a thing right now that I kept getting hit up on my CPA. And I'm like, do I need to pay this like 4 times? And BW was just like, dude, just like do it like this. You can do it through your payroll software. It's like, you can pay me less. And I'm like, that's a guy that has my back. So we appreciate BW for keeping the lights on. They're on. I'm a little slow here right now, but there's
the lights
a
are
point. We're going to play an ad read from
Hell yeah.
a Marine. Because it's Semper Fi week. So none other than Captain Jameson Broggi, Judge Advocate General, Cherry Point, North Carolina.
Attention orders.
Number one, no one's paying me to say anything. I receive one paycheck only, and it's from the United States government. Nothing to say anything at all, because I have no actual different interests in this company. So I say that. With number two, just based on what I've heard, what I thought sounded pretty cool about that was, if you call, you get a real person. You're not going through like a little chat box or trying to get someone there. It's small enough where you call. I actually get some assistance. I thought that sounded pretty cool.
I couldn't tell if that was from Trey in real time or Trey in post time or previous time.
That ad
Anyway,
read is
BW Tax, we appreciate
50%
you.
ad read and 50% legal disclaimer.
Yeah, no, he really wanted to make it clear he was not getting that paycheck. I
am an attorney. I'm actually at gunpoint by my brother to be on this podcast right now. The gun is off screen. But yeah, all right. Slide deck overview. Can we get an agenda slide?
Well, let's pick up some
agenda.
trash first.
We got college football. We're going to talk about monkeys. We're going to talk about Marine Corps birthday ball, Bill Burr, all sorts of stuff. Drawings of phallic images. Trump. We got Coach Prime. We got a big, solid agenda. But first things first, Trey, can you go ahead and give us the trash brief real quick? Make sure we really drive that home.
I just want to make sure everyone is picking up their trash at all times. If you're not policing, you're wrong. Are you policing your areas? Amen. We are going to leave this AO better than we found it.
Amen. Preach.
Just a good way to live your life, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, it is. Pick up after yourself.
It really is.
It's so simple. We got one Mother Earth. You know what I mean?
Hey, we only got one.
We got one.
It's down in Patagonia. I got to visit it sometime.
I counted it.
That's where she
Trey,
lives.
just a side note, and we do have a fellow, a number of committed listeners that are Massonomics fans.
Okay.
And we appreciate all of you. Some people have said it's a cousin podcast. I'm from the South, and so cousins to me, it's just like family. But your shirt, it looks like you're wearing a Massonomics polo.
Oh
no,
okay.
This is the company Kiriyama.
Okay, so I'm really curious if Massonomics ripped them off, or if you listened to the podcast and had your company rip Massonomics off.
Yeah, no, that's how influential Massonomics is making huge waves in the industrial hose business.
We got
to get after that.
A lot of pipe getting laid.
Yeah, you know what
I'm saying. Okay. Next slide.
Oh, we dropped
next slide. So some monkeys escaped in South Carolina. I saw a little bit of talk back and forth between you and Trey.
Just a plot to Outbreak.
Is that a movie?
That is a movie, and it's literally monkeys escape, and I think infect people.
They have like a virus.
Yeah.
Did they catch any of these monkeys?
No, not yet. So the monkey thing is like near and dear to me. So if you're driving I-95 in the South, we just say I-95.
Yeah.
In the West Coast, you'd say the 95. I-95. There's two ways to get to where Grant's from, which is Seabrook, South Carolina, not to be confused with Seabrook, the island, which is where the rich people live, but where the common people live on the base of the Whale Branch River.
Also Seabrook.
You can exit. Yeah. Also Seabrook. You can exit 38. You can exit 33. If you are not a townie, you just put it in your whatever vehicle, your phone, and it takes you to 33, which is what is known as Point South, one of the largest firework distributors probably in the world.
Yeah.
I made that up, but there's a lot of fireworks that you can buy there. Or if you're a townie, you exit 38 and you go down Old Sheldon Church Road, which is where Sherman burned the South. Once he got done with Atlanta, he came to Beaufort. And there's the town of Yemassee, former Native American type tribe that's based out of South Carolina. And you go into Yemassee, which is the Marines used to get dropped off. And as you pass that area, on the left side, there's like a sign. It's like right after the Section 8 housing, and there's like a bunch of fences. And my dad would always be like, yeah, it's where they keep the monkeys. And I'm like, what? Like I don't even know what that means. And I just thought he was kidding. And he's like, oh yeah, they got monkeys back there. And I just thought it was like hey, you're 6. I'm going to play with your fragile brain. And then I'm like 12 and I'm out on the river shrimping with my buddy Hunter. And he's like, that's Monkey Island. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, they take the monkeys from Yemassee and they put them on Monkey Island, and like after they vaccinate them, they like test them and like see what they do. And I'm like, that's not true. And as we get closer with the boat, you can hear like, like they're all singing the potato song.
Out of here.
Dead serious. Dad, I'm not making anything up. So then I like go back to Dad. I'm like a newly minted 13-year-old. I'm like, wait, is there really monkeys in Yemassee? And he's like, yeah, it's like a research thing. I was like, okay. And then when I'm older, I remember driving by one day and they were like redoing the fence and you could see in and you could see all of these monkeys. So I wake up, whatever day it was. I'm not on a lot of sleep these days, but I wake up and my family thread, like we usually get excited over like the day that Jonathan Edwards, posted the stuff to the doors of the Catholic Church, Reformation Sunday, Palm Sunday, Easter Sunday, the birth of Jesus. Like that's when the family thread pops off and everyone's just sending like monkey links. And I'm like, wow. And then so like 3 hours go by and the normal world starts to learn about the monkeys. And everyone that I know on the West Coast that just knows I'm from South Carolina, they don't even know that this is like 10 minutes from my house, just starts sending me monkey links about these 43 monkeys, all females, white variety of monkeys. They're like a pale kind of pink, kind of look like Mark Ripito style monkey. Get turned loose. And what was happening is they were going to move them to the island, like the thing I learned about as a child.
Okay.
And the monkeys broke free. And so my family's like, we're like on, Beaufort County Twitter, Yemassee Police Department. We're getting like all the updates. And then people that are not so in tune with monkey life are sending me like AP articles. I'm like, you have no idea. The Broggies have been tracking this since 05:30 in the morning. Anyway, the monkeys are on the loose. And then Rogan talked about them.
Yeah.
And so then a bunch of other people sent articles, but they have not gotten the monkeys. And there's all these videos on these like deep Beaufort County, Yemassee subreddits of like people like, look, there's one right there. And like, there's like monkeys like running around the woods and they like set up all the traps. I'm a little disappointed I don't have an update, but yeah, monkeys are on the loose.
Monkey season.
South Carolina, we just call that November.
Your tag limit's 43.
Yeah. I wonder who checked the CMR. They're like, the numbers are not bumping.
Hey, yeah, we just did our monkey count. You're gonna want to call the commander.
Right. Let's go and line up. Let's go and read off the serial numbers of all the monkeys.
Go ahead, hold your monkeys high in the sky. Let's see them. Count off.
Yeah. So they're still on the loose. I haven't looked for an update this afternoon, but fun story. You know, it's not often that your hometown makes the news, but when it does, I hope it's about 43 monkeys starting the next Wuhan virus.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
Good slide.
Let's see.
Let's start saying good slide. It feels good
Fun
slide. Yeah.
Good random slide. Good slide. We're from the
obviously, yeah, it was good segue into Trey. You want to talk about golf? Well, you got golf on the brain or something? Not golf battery, but golf the game, the sport.
Next slide.
I can't remember. We were talking about it. I think I was talking with Grant about this, and just so like in sales, everyone goes, "Oh, you have to know how to golf to sail," which I disagree with strongly.
Like, no.
And I don't know. This is a short slide. It's just I've never been into golf. I've never understood the appeal of golf. I've tried it one time and like I held up. Everyone was mad at me because I held up like the people behind me. And so like I did not have fun. It was not a good time. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like we were just talking about it and just in sales in this occupation, everyone was like, "Oh, you have to golf to be good at sales." And I go, I don't think that's true at all.
I just immediately agreed with Trey instantly when I took command of Godfather Golf Battery. They were like, "Sir, we're going to take you golfing." I was like, "No, you're not." And they're like, no, the base course is really nice. Like, we'll go golfing. I was like, "I don't golf." And they're like, "Well, you just get in a golf cart and ride around and drink beer." And I'm like, "Yeah. So what do you need all the 7 irons for?" Like, I don't understand the golfing part of this. This sounds terrible. Yeah, I'm not a fan. It's probably because I'm bad at it, but it's too slow. Takes too long.
I also don't have like, I'm already way too into fishing, even though I haven't done it in a while, but I can't pick up another hobby with it just like a huge time suck.
Yeah. What I've always said is people that golf have never fished. I've always said that.
I agree with that. There's I was listening to, it was, who's a guy who wrote like,
Robert Redford.
No, like
J.R. Tolkien.
Not Freakonomics. What am I thinking of? Outliers. Who wrote that?
Oh, Malcolm Gladwell.
Malcolm Gladwell. He has have you ever listened to his podcast?
Not in a while, but like the revisionist history.
Had one. Yeah, it was like his first or second season. And he was talking about like the correlation to CEOs and how much time they golfed and how successful their business was. And just like the more they golfed, like it's like the Lehman Brothers golfed every day and they just like went completely bankrupt.
Interesting.
I thought you were going to say the business grew.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting. I was like, wait a minute.
No.
Golf's okay.
Exact opposite. Okay. Do you do it?
I haven't played in, probably like 5 years. But
okay, I'll put it this way.
It's fun. I got into golf for a little bit before joining the Marine Corps. Like I had a buddy that was pretty into golf.
So that was like what, 1773 or?
Yeah.
So like if you go to a driving range, like people would be like, "Oh, Jeff knows how to golf." Like you could swing it.
I have never been great at hitting a driver, but like
I could see Jeff with a killer short game.
Give me a couple days of practice, I could probably be okay with irons.
I look like Charles Barkley taught me, and like I was just like, "Oh, he knows what he's doing. I'm just going to do what he does."
What was the? And we'll transition from golf to sports because they're two different things after this. What was the? You guys both sent it to me. So it was the Citadel running back, 96, Everett Sandman went to play in the league. And I remember now. Perfect. So he goes golfing and there's this like, attractive blonde ESPN personality. It's like during some big golf tournament. And they're like, so Vince Young, like, how's your game today? And he's wearing like a baby blue Citadel polo. He's like our most famous player. Citadel hat. And she asked him like something about like not him, but like other people playing. So he answers it. And then she's like, well, Vince, how's your game? He's like, well, first of all, I want to say thanks for interviewing me. Second, I'm not Vince Young. It's really funny.
That's racist. All golf players look alike.
Yeah. So same people that don't know that pink monkeys exist.
That was an okay slide.
Yeah, it's decent. Okay.
I mean, should we talk about real sports now?
Yeah.
See, I think golf's a game. I don't think golf's a sport. I think it's
I like that.
a game that takes a lot of skill. A lot of skill. And you might be a good athlete if you're a good golfer, but you don't have to be a good athlete.
Would you say baseball's also a game, or do you think it's a sport?
I think we throw in running.
Player.
Running and
I feel like
throwing,
if you can dip tobacco, I feel like we talked about this. If you put in a fat lip in, it becomes a game again.
Okay,
Baker Mayfield was stuffing some zins in his lip.
No, that's true. That's a good point. It's a good point.
So wait a minute, then, before we leave this slide, what is more of a sport, golf or bowling?
Oh,
I see them on the same level.
I would say golf.
Yeah.
You at least
golf's more sport.
You at least have to walk between holes, right?
See, the difference that I see is at least bowling's fun. You can be in the gutter ball and have a great time. Like when your ball's in the water, you're like, $3 more for another ping.
Yeah. That was always my gauge if it was a good round. If I only had to use 3 golf balls for the whole round, I'm like, okay, that was a good round. Dude, I don't care what my score was.
At Fort Sill, I got really good at bowling. Remember that bowling alley there?
Really?
Oh, dude, we win all the time.
I love bowling.
I had a buddy who bought a bowling ball while we were there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, no, that's like a goal for me. I don't know if it'll be my 40s or my 50s, but like, I want to be like, where's Dad? Tuesday night bowling league.
Yes.
Like he's there with the boys. Yes. Like I went, there was one drill. This is a long golf slide. There was one drill where I went and drilled and I stayed in the hotel and I was there like a night early and I usually hang out with my battery gunny, but he was busy. And I was like, man, I don't really have anything to do. And I texted Diana and I was like, I really want to bowl. And there's a bowling alley next door. Is it weird if I go bowl by myself? She's like 100%, but you should do it. And I went, and when you bowl alone, you can bowl like 10 games really fast. And yeah, it was really fun.
What'd you bowl?
So I am like very bad in my opinion, but like, okay, I haven't bowled. That was like probably 4 months ago. If we all went bowling right now, my first game, I'd bowl like a 94.
Okay.
And then my second game, I'd bowl like a 120.
Okay.
And then if you like let me keep playing, I'll bowl like a upper 100s. Like a 190 would be a great game for me.
Okay.
But I get my groove. But I always start terrible and I forget. And I do nothing cool. There's like no spin. There's no twirl. I'm like, there's a just pyramid on the wood. And I don't throw it that hard. Okay. I'm just like, there's a triangle and there's another triangle a little bit to the right. And if I split those with a slight left curve, I'm good. And I'm like straight lines. I'm like an artillery officer bowling. I guess that's what I am when I bowl.
Literally 5 requirements of active predictive bowling.
1, put your shoes on. 2, order a pizza.
3, get a pitcher of light beer.
4, spill it.
Know where the pins are.
Oh man. All right, next slide.
Decent slide. Okay.
Yeah, should we jump in on college football? I'll be honest, I can't contribute at all. I didn't see 1 second of college football on Saturday. With
the rankings, the new rankings just came out today.
Oh,
hey, as BW always says every Tuesday, you guys are genius for recording the podcast on Tuesday nights because you get to have the first takes of the new college football playoff.
That's what everyone tunes in for.
For BW and Grant's mom.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
It's exactly. America tunes in.
I think we got to dive hard into that. Talk last weekend, and then I want to hear all about Jeff's ball, Veterans Day. I think we'd be remiss not to talk about the Marine Corps birthday, Trey preaching. But yeah, let's go. Somebody pull up the rankings.
Trying to find the newest one. I got these weird.
So Jeff, you didn't watch any football?
I didn't see any. I was drill. And
man, I was hoping you could. I missed the BYU Utah game, and all I saw afterwards was the Utah AD just like
he was very
railing on the refs.
Yeah, very.
And I saw it. And I'm like, I don't know what the call was exactly.
It's not often.
That was the last game that I didn't finish.
Yeah, it was late.
That would have been super late for you. It started at 8:30. I know our time.
So I watched I think the first quarter, and I was like, I can't. I gotta stop.
Oh, I made it 3 minutes in, and I passed out. So
okay. I got the rankings pulled up. Do you want to jump in on them now, or do you want?
Yeah, let's go right in.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember I feel like people were talking about the BYU Utah game, but I didn't really pay attention. So number 12. The 2 lost Georgia Bulldogs.
I still think they're in.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, I still think they're in.
You think they beat Tennessee? You think they beat Tennessee?
I think they beat Tennessee.
So then Tennessee's out.
Yeah, I think Tennessee's out.
Okay.
I've been saying this a long time.
Number 11, Ole Miss Rebels jumping up.
Man.
See, if they don't have any hard games left, I don't think
so.
They don't. Yeah, I think they're in.
I feel like that's fair.
I think it's either Georgia or I don't know.
South Carolina. I get it, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think Georgia and Ole Miss are in. Okay, keep going. Number 10.
Number 10.
I think. I think they're both in. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number Georgia 10, Alabama Crimson Tide.
Who do they have left?
Auburn.
Yeah,
that's
I'm not kidding. I'm not even kidding. I could see Auburn coming. Auburn will Gamecock it this year. They'll be like, you know what we have to play for? Ruining this for Bama.
Yeah, that's true. That is pretty big motivation.
Yeah.
You got to see who.
So hopefully they're not.
What the rest of their schedule
it's like a log jam, man. In the
really
SEC
is.
right now.
Yep.
It is just like when I saw that Texas A&M. Not to get off topic, but it's on topic, had a 14.3% chance of making the college football playoff, and South Carolina had a 13.9%. That is not what I thought. Even I went into the Texas A&M game thinking we would win. That is not like if you told me at the end of the game you'll both have, let's just call it 15% chance. It's not what I thought in my mind. But like the SEC is just
I feel like
give a team a third loss and you're done.
I'm not eating the home cooking here, but I feel like that's a little bit under an A&M. All they got, so they have to beat. They beat Auburn, and they have to beat Texas at home, probably a night game.
I also know that there's these things that come out in Vegas called odds, and I'm like, Vegas is wrong. And it's like, they were spot on.
Yeah.
Dude, they're so right all the time.
They're always right. It's like over under 44. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right.
Field goal, just hit 45.
So Alabama has Mercer, OU, and then Auburn. They should win all those.
Hey, man. If I'm Oklahoma University, I, at halftime, do that thing they do now where they play the Toby Keith song. And at the start of the fourth quarter, I put up every county in Oklahoma that voted red,
which is
and
all
I just
of
put
them.
that on the, which is every single one. I put that on the screen, and the fans go berserk, and they beat Alabama.
Yeah.
If you need media tips for college football teams, call Grant. Tune in.
Do you bring the football team out of the locker room to look at that?
I'm telling you, you put that on in that stadium, it would go berserk. Berserk. Like the state is already leaning that way. And then the people that are at college football games and pull for the Sooners.
Oh, yeah.
Like they were all at the Capitol on January 6th. Like that gets everyone fired.
I feel like lean's an understatement.
Yeah.
I feel like they have fallen over.
I think.
Oh, man.
Okay,
right.
moving on. Number 9,
Wait,
Miami.
So, Grant, you said Alabama's out.
I think Alabama's out. I think they slip up. It's Oklahoma or Auburn, but one of them they do something dumb and they're out. They lack discipline.
Or a 2-loss team doesn't make it in.
Could be that.
All right, Grant. You said 9's Jeff, 9's Miami?
9 is Miami.
Yeah, they're out. They're going to lose to Clemson.
I think they're going to lose again, too. Yeah.
I'm very pro Clemson beating Miami before coming to play South Carolina. So,
well, they would play Miami in the ACC championship.
The ACC championship, right? Be after, yeah.
Like it would be nice if Clemson loses out and then beats Miami.
Yeah, that'd be great. Strike the record, Jordy. I never have said I wanted Clemson to win. That would not be great. I want Miami to beat Clemson in the ACC championship. I'm a Gamecock.
There you go. Number 8.
Number 8's Notre Dame. Ugh.
They play Army?
They're just going to get in. They could have 5 losses and they're like, oh, yeah, Notre Dame, number 12. Yep, get them in. What do you know? I think they're really underrated.
Yeah.
I think they still have Army left. Who knows who else? Because
I know they finished with USC.
Is there a scenario where the Army Navy game happens back to back?
Not anymore. I don't think.
Not anymore because Navy lost, but they could have because they're in that whatever American conference.
Oh, I see you're saying,
and they're on opposite sides. But I think you're right. I think that's off the table. That would have been great. Imagine the Army Navy game. The politicians
They would have played the championship game before the actual Army Navy game.
For real?
Yes, it would have been like when you celebrate the Marine Corps birthday and then the next day you have Veterans Day. It would have been the greatest thing
ever. That's good. All right, number 7, Tennessee Volunteers.
I really think they're out. I don't know why, but I think they're fake news.
I know they have.
When I've watched them
Georgia
play
this week, right?
Yeah. When I've watched them play, I'm like, man, this does not feel like this team should not be like near the top of the SEC. Like, what?
I'm not against it. Like Tennessee's not a team that I just like go out and hate. But it just doesn't. I'm like, I don't think this is real. But they at number 7. Who do they have left, Trey?
Play Georgia this week. Then they got the UTEP, and then they got Vanderbilt. Is what they finished with.
Okay, that won't be.
So that's great. If they finish 10-2,
yeah, it's gonna be wild.
Dude, it's gonna be really interesting.
Once we get through these numbers, I want to talk about if the BCS was on to something.
Ooh.
Oh, computers? Yeah.
Number 6 is the BYU Cougars.
Oh, man. I'm from the South. I have a hard time seeing that team making it.
Unless Colorado beats them. I feel like Colorado.
Hey.
It's possible.
I'm all about those buffs. Hang on.
Quick prime.
It's prime time.
They beat Tech.
It's true.
They're rolling. We'll see. All right, number 6.
So now number 5. Indiana Hoosiers, undefeated Indiana Hoosiers.
They got Ohio State, I believe, coming up.
I think so. Is that this week or no? Maybe
it is.
I can't remember. I feel like Tennessee Georgia was like the biggest game of this week.
See, Big Ten.
Okay, I guess you're not paying attention to the Citadel versus Wofford, but
sorry.
All right.
Sorry, my mistake.
And Wofford in the English Premier League.
Yeah. They're playing a soccer team.
They're playing a soccer team.
The Wolves.
It's a collab.
I don't know. I still think South Carolina Mizzou's the biggest game of the week for the SEC.
Excuse me.
In all seriousness, well, I guess Tennessee Georgia's bigger.
Yeah, I think Tennessee Georgia might be.
Yeah.
No, they got them not this week. Ohio State, Indiana is the second to last game.
Ooh, boy.
Indiana, let me see. They have a bye this week, and then they go Ohio State, and then they go Purdue. Man, that'd be crazy if they end up beating
that they got the bye week going into Ohio State. That's nice.
I know.
That's nice.
But it's at Ohio State.
That's not as nice.
But it's at 11 a.m., so
that nice.
That's called tray time. In South Carolina, we just call that noon.
What? Yeah. Oh, Trey. Yeah.
True story.
True story. All right. Number 4?
Number 4 is Penn State.
Oh, frauds.
Yeah.
I just want to be so happy that I've been rooting for them to lose all season, waiting for them to lose, and they did it. Go Joe Paterno.
They got Purdue, Minnesota, and Maryland. Oh, my goodness.
Look at that cat. If you're not watching on YouTube, is that
Zoe?
Zoe. Sorry, I was thinking of Jordy's or PJ's cat Sardine for a second.
Sardine.
It's a good name. She's like silver and white. Looks like a little fish.
Sardine.
I've always saying that.
Sardine.
There you go. All right. So we talked about number 4, Penn State. Number 3, Texas Longhorns. Obviously going to catch another loss when they play the Aggies.
Yeah, that's right.
Gig farmers fight. That's
right. Seahawks 12th man. Woo!
Sure.
Hey, we sued them.
Number 2, Ohio State Buckeyes. Man, I would love to see Indiana go undefeated and beat them.
That would be nice.
I'd like that too. And then Indiana's Big Ten, right?
Yeah.
So then, like, lose in the Big Ten championship after beating Ohio State
to Oregon.
That would be even better.
Yeah.
To Oregon. Yeah. Which is probably true. I just can't wrap my head around
so weird.
That Oregon is in the Big Ten, or that Texas is in the SEC. Both those blind me.
It's weird. This has been, and then number 1, Oregon,
Stanford
Ducks.
in the ACC.
Quack, quack. Yeah.
Wait, who's 2?
Ohio State.
Yeah.
Okay, so Longhorns, Ohio State, and then Oregon.
And then Oregon.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough. SEC is going to be so. If A&M wins out, Texas 10-2, A&M's 10-2.
Gamecocks went out.
Well,
I feel like the way the SEC schedule is lined up this year, that like all the good teams are just like kind of knocking each other off. Where it's like the Big Ten teams not as much. It's I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, it's because there's 100 of them. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's literally a quarter.
Insane.
25% of 100. All right.
They just call it the big 100.
Yeah. And then some teams that are on the bubble. Let's talk about them. I'll start with number 21. I'll go down to number 21. That's near and dear to this podcast's heart. South Carolina Gamecocks sit at number 21 in the bowl. So there's a chance.
I don't see any way they make it in. I guess they're like, when I saw 13%, like Trey said, I mean, I didn't think it was a knock on A&M. I was just like, what is this girl math? Like, how is this possible? I guess you'd beat Mizzou.
You'd win out, and then you'd have to see some other teams lose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. I haven't gotten deep on the subreddits. I've been looking up monkeys, but there must be some kind of path. I need to figure out what it is.
You put a couple of those monkeys on the squad.
Yeah,
get them in there.
If they went out and end up with a 3-loss season, man.
And so they kicked Boise State out, huh? Of the top 12.
Yeah, for winning. I was always like, I don't know.
So what happens when you paint grass blue?
Like it's not natural?
It's not natural. It's tall grass.
Smurf turf.
Tall bluegrass, yeah.
Just above them is Clemson Tigers at number 20. So we hope we see them lose. We don't want to see them.
Yeah, we do.
The Colorado Buffaloes, number 17, 7-2. So they got a fighting chance.
Yeah.
I think if they went out, yeah.
Moving up a couple spots. Number 15, Texas A&M. So we'll see. We'll see.
It should be interesting.
We'll see what happens.
So, I mean, if you beat Texas,
if Fandom beats Texas, they go to Atlanta.
They go to the ship,
and if you win that,
then you're in automatically.
Definitely, in, 100%.
What would be interesting is if they go undefeated, go to Atlanta, and then lose.
Yeah,
are you going to let a 3-loss team into the playoff?
I feel like you have to look at the runner-up to the SEC championship game as like that loss weighs differently than like a 2. Like, if they have 3 losses and there's a 2-loss Tennessee, it's like, okay, that 2-loss Tennessee is different than a 3-loss A&M. I think
that's why I need. That's why I need South Carolina to win out.
Never forget recency bias.
True.
Recency bias is real.
It's very real in college football.
It's really real.
Notre Dame.
I think to make it in the playoff, I think A&M is going to have to win the SEC.
So is there? Excuse my ignorance. I'm used to computers.
Yeah, I forgive you.
Is there? Is this just coaches voting to make? Is it like
the
top 12?
No, this is the playoff committee.
So it's people, not necessarily coaches, but correct. It's all human.
It's all human.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Condoleezza Rice used to be in charge of it.
I remember Condoleezza Rice was.
Condoleezza Rice.
I didn't necessarily like her either, but I don't know. Like I like stats. I like computers crunching numbers. I'm a Moneyball guy.
Yeah.
All right. Well. National championship. Did you guys look at those odds?
No.
Of who's going to win?
Yeah, I was on that today. Let me go back. Top 25. And somehow I went to futures.
I assume they're projected. If I take a guess, I would say Oregon.
I want to say that was the cheapest. Here we go. Boom. Odds, futures. Here it is. Ohio State plus 300, Oregon plus 360, Texas plus 450, and then the drop off happens. UGA plus 900. Like for example, South Carolina is plus 30,000, Texas A&M is plus 10,000. That's why I thought those like 0.4 percentage points didn't make sense because I'm like, where's the money going in Vegas?
Yeah.
But yeah, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Georgia, top 4 per the odds.
I say this
people betting.
Non-bias. Name Texas's hardest, best win. Who's their best one they have?
They beat Tennessee, right?
Nope.
They play Tennessee?
Nope. They played Vanderbilt. They beat Vanderbilt by 3 points. They beat Michigan,
who's not
Michigan's
actually good.
Lost to Georgia.
Let's
just go through it.
They beat
the brakes off Colorado State. They beat Michigan. UTSA, UL Monroe, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, lost to Georgia, beat Vanderbilt, beat Florida.
With their third string quarterback.
Watch. Texas is going to get beat by Kentucky.
I think Arkansas this week. They play at Arkansas.
Even better.
I know.
Trey's a big Arkansas guy.
This week
I haven't. We're from the South.
They did also publish so if like the season ended right today and then like the rankings were locked in. So like Oregon would be the number 1 seed, Texas number 2, BYU would be the number 3 seed, number 4 seed would be Miami. So that's kind of interesting seeing that like.
Did they say publish the order?
Publish the order.
Why does that change from the rankings you just put out there?
Because of the conference, if like those would be like the conference champions, technically. So if like they're saying, assuming these teams win,
first place right now.
Amen.
I guess they're just saying. Like,
I don't get why. Yeah, I don't get why that would change. I don't know.
Yeah,
but interesting.
Well,
good slide.
In South Carolina, we just call that fall. Citadel plays Wofford this Saturday, 13:30 Eastern time. Wofford, known as the Southern Conference juggernaut. Citadel, with the win over Wofford and Clemson, ends up 6-6. I think both things are possible. But yeah, might be baby's first game.
Ooh.
Because I'm like, hey, Spartanburg is 30 minutes from here.
Okay.
Can't afford not to.
Tickets are going to be like $17.
Yeah.
And if you go in and have a meltdown, you just leave.
No big deal.
Even though you're leaving the most exciting game in sports that weekend, like you don't really care.
True.
So, a little potential there.
Go watch the Veer in person.
Hey.
Against a below average EPL team.
Hey, yeah. Crushing it. You're really following Southern sports over here. What else we got on the slide deck?
Do we want to get into the beginning of Marine Corps Ramadan and the festivities that occur? We already published the order, so
249.
Oh man, next year's gonna be so great.
It's gonna be, people are gonna go nuts. I'm pretty excited about it, honestly.
You'll be back. When do you get back from your long vacation?
Your trip?
Oh yeah, the deployment.
Yeah.
We haven't really announced on the podcast. We'll talk about that next week, but we'll tell people now. I'll leave in like April and come back in October. We went to a Marine Corps sink ships. We went to a Marine Corps birthday event on Sunday, and we were there, and they cut the cake, and it's like a South Carolina event. Like I didn't know any devil dogs there. I mean, everyone's like, I'm like, yas, and they're like, oh, what are you? And I'm like, artillery. They're like, the king of battle. And like that camaraderie is cool. But I did tell D, I was like, hey, next year on the birthday, it'll be over. And like the three of us will be together and it'll be over. And I was like, and that's kind of exciting.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, so we'll be back for 250. But no, it is interesting. I don't feel like any of us are like super rah, like wearing Molly gear out in public. People that wear Molly gear in public probably never served. That's just how that always goes.
Well,
yeah. Maybe you are. I kind of wish I had a tactical baby carrier, honestly. The one I have looks like it was made by Fisher Price. But it is, what's interesting to me is like the amount of people that you hear from. And like, we obviously talk a lot and like we keep things together, but it's like random staff sergeant. And if any of the Marines are listening and they think you're the random staff sergeant, you're not. Someone more random. Cause if you listen to this podcast, you're near and dear to me, but it's just like, oh, I forgot that guy existed.
Yeah.
And it's like, happy birthday, sir. Or me, I'll just like think of someone. I'll be like, I think he was a PFC in Afghanistan, got out as a corporal. I'm like, hey, corporal, happy birthday. They're like, hoorah, sir, are you a general yet? And like, it's just amazing like, yes. The amount of people you talk to. And Diana's just always like, you like this so much better than your birthday. She's like, you like actually get excited. And I'm like, I really do.
Oh yeah.
And
agreed.
We talked about that morning. And then when we went to the event, the guy got up that owns the restaurant. He's like an Iraq vet, has one eye, like real wartime service, and not the best public speaker, but like really hit home. And he was just like, how many of you guys remember when your birthday is? And like, it's like quiet, there's like a vet on a ladder with a microphone. He's like, none of you. He's like your wife reminds you, and everyone's like, hoorah. And like, I just like that, like a Marine can say anything with a microphone and everyone's just like, yeah. And he's like, but we all know today. And I was like, it's like actually like a great way to put it. And it's not eloquent at all, which is in Marine fashion, but it's just like, November 10th. Amazing. It's August 26th, Grant. It's your birthday. Whatever. I got to go to work. Yeah. But like, yeah. Marine Corps birthday.
It's a great day. It's a great day.
It was a good day.
How was your ball, Jeff?
It was a good time. Let's see. We were near Anaheim at the Hyatt Regency. So it's Marine's favorite hotel is a Hyatt.
Hyatt. So, Marine's favorite month.
March.
Marine's favorite boat.
A yacht.
Never gets old.
Never. Really good time. Guest of honor was Brigadier General Everly, our 1st Battalion Commander, Grant.
Oh, nice.
Back in the day at 5'11".
Be my little general.
So it was pretty cool.
Everly, was that the bald guy?
No, that was Beltran.
Hey, let's ask a group of Marines if that was the bald guy.
I think you're thinking of Beltran, like the run.
I'm thinking of Beltran. Yeah.
Love.
He was the guy right before him. He turned over pretty soon after I know Grant and I checked in. I don't know if you had.
Yeah, I actually think he might have been gone. And the only reason
he was gone when I was there, I only knew Beltran.
Yeah, he's a general, so obviously he knows what he's doing. But the reason he remembered us was because we had this OJT trip right before Fort Sill.
It's the best.
And we went out together and like they screwed up like all the S1 admin, DTS. And so Jeff and I end up like just like buying plane tickets to go back to Fort Sill, like on our maybe personal credit cards.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was like a balance somewhere of like $263. And so I wouldn't say he hated us, but like we were on the slides every week, Broggi and Biggie, because like we both owed money to the government. And we're like, we were just trying to get back to school. We can't help it that you guys messed us up.
We were at the airport at like 5 a.m. and we were checking in. They're like, you don't have flights. So we're like, but we have this printout and it says I have a flight. And they're like, yeah, they booked it. But then the day of, the money doesn't actually get taken from the account. So it was like crash course in DTS and how like, yeah, you buy the flights, but they're not actually bought because it's different pots of money and you got to move it around in different cross org.
It's the end of the fiscal year.
Bitcoin. It's stuck in Coinbase.
We had 90 yet. 87. We're dropping.
Oh, no.
But yeah, good time.
Yeah,
good time. Let's see. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Angel Torres was there, former battery commander of mine from headquarters battery time.
Retired.
Recently retired now in like executive, business school at UCLA. So got to catch up with him, which was super fun. He's just exactly how I remember him. Really great guy. But it was a good time. I think.
This is the one time of year. You remember Major Sergeant?
Oh yeah.
So he was CO of Sierra whenever I checked in. Really good guy. I love Major Sergeant.
That guy.
Super, like the nicest guy.
Like good dude.
Prior enlisted. He was a sergeant at one point in time.
Sergeant. That's the best.
But no, I get it. That's the one time a year I get a text from him. There's like a group text with like me and Major Dill now. I don't know. I assume.
Yeah, Major Dill. Yeah. Major Dill I saw when Nova, who we had on the podcast, promoted to captain. I was like, is that Dill?
Yeah.
Dill promoted her?
Like fire support battalion commander.
Yeah. She's like, you know him? I'm like,
Dill's the man. He was, so whenever I was FDO, he was the platoon commander for me. So
big Dill guy.
He's great.
Big Dill guy.
Yeah, man. What else is at the ball?
Yeah, it's good. I think, one loss of PJ is we just talk about stuff, but maybe explaining it to folks is a little bit helpful. So
I honestly forgot we were recording. I thought we were just talking.
If you wonder what a Marine Corps birthday ball is like, it is like it's an event that all the young Marines at first don't want to go to, and they have to buy a ticket. And if they don't go, there's a lot of like stigma. It's like if you have to get taped and you're like, but I'm not fat. I just weigh more than you want me to. So if you don't pay for your ball ticket, they put you in the most uncomfortable uniform and make you like run the sales at the front gate. But you go, and it's mandatory fun at its finest. And I would say now, maybe this is my post lobotomy field grade brain. Now I get really excited, but like a lot of people dread it, and then they go and it's like amazing. But you do go into the ball. And there's like a cake cutting thing. There's a guest of honor. They play the commandant's video. And the adjutant reads a message from General Lejeune, not in that order. So you go in, there's like a cocktail hour. Marines are just smoking cigarettes. It's like everywhere you go, you just smell cigarettes. And then you go inside and the cake gets marched in. The adjutant reads the thing, and then they cut the cake, and help me out here.
Guest of honor,
oldest Marine.
Beast.
No, oldest. Guest of honor is first piece, and the oldest Marine feeds it to the youngest Marine. And whenever the youngest Marine, they're like, he was born in 2020. Well, that's not even correct anymore. That was
he's 4.
That's why you have to feed the cake to him.
So, yeah, it's like a whole thing. And then they play the commandant's message, which is always, I say, gets better every year since we've been in.
Did you watch this year's?
Yeah, I liked it.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. You didn't like it?
Okay.
I mean, whenever there's a 777 and a lanyard getting pulled,
and then just everyone was going crazy at the ball when that popped up.
It's like 9 minutes and 32 seconds of Marine Corps production, 3 seconds of artillery, and at the ball, everyone's like, ah!
That actually might be one of my favorite things is sitting in that, like, you know, usually like ballroom, watching the video with tons of Marines and just all of like the random stuff. You're like, like, it's great. That actually is my favorite part of the ball. Is people just getting fired up by the video.
It's my favorite. Well, my other favorite part is like, then you sing the hymn.
Yes.
And every Marine, and myself included, it's like, from the halls of, and you're like screaming. And then they go to verse 2 and everyone's like, something in northern snow, blah, blah. And then it goes like very quiet. And then it's like, if the army or the navy. And they come back on. Great day. Did you do any ball activities, Trey? I mean, I know you didn't go to Marine Corps ball, but like, is there like, I don't know, Texas meetup for Marines or?
No.
We didn't.
No, it was a Sunday, man. We just went to church.
In the South, we just call that church.
And you just call it church, man. Yeah.
You talked a little about the Marine Corps in church, didn't you?
I did, man. So I was doing communion thoughts at church, got in front of the congregation. And it just happened to work out that it was the Marine Corps birthday. If you don't know what communion thoughts are, you can get with me later. I'll introduce you to a guy. But no, it was like it just happened to work out. And it was like, oh, Marine Corps birthday. This is going to be the easiest. I didn't really have to prepare that much. Tell us what you
said. I think like the
train
of thought.
Yeah, my train of thought was I kind of talked about my time in the Marine Corps and like, hey, there's things Marine Corps is frustrating, bureaucracy or whatnot, but then there's things that I love. I love the Marines. And I think I took a quote from Donnie as far as the
clowns in the circus.
I mentioned that, which I think all the veterans in there got a kick out of it.
Oh yeah.
But then I said, then one time a year you go to the Marine Corps birthday ball and it's just like, you're reminded of how much, like why you wanted to join and like how proud you are to be there. And then kind of alluded it back to communion while we do it. So
yeah,
that was pretty good, man. Yeah. It was, like I said, probably super easy. It was a great day to do it.
That's good. Yeah. Great day to do it. Don't have them do it on November 9th.
No.
Oh, gosh. What are we talking about?
I will say, and then we'll wrap up all this Semper Fi, do or die talk. I think Jeff and I are in a super weird position because, you know, when you're a reservist, you're technically a veteran because you possess a DD-214. And Jeff and I both like got out. Well, I went into the reserves and then I like left the reserves for a minute. Jeff got out and was like out. And then like, we're both like very active, you know, obviously doing stuff in the SMCR, but you have like a group of people that have never served, which is great. That's the whole point of all of this. And then they know you're a Marine. So they're like, Happy Veterans Day. And then like now, like for me, I'm activating next year. I'm like, do I rate that? And obviously like I do, but you're in this like weird, I call it a cheat code. Like the SMCR is like a cheat code because you get like all the, I'm a veteran. And then also like,
you're still
I'm still in this. Yeah. So it's kind of wild, but it is funny on Veterans Day because people message you and it is also still amazing to me. Nothing is amazing to me as when you meet someone, they're like, oh, my dad was a Marine. And like, I'm not playing stump the chump. I'm just like, oh, what did he do? No idea. Right. Like that's always amazing to me, but it's also amazing to me that people like Veterans Day, like, am I allowed to say Happy Veterans Day? And I'm like, yeah.
See, my favorite is someone goes, oh, my dad was a Marine. And you're like, oh, what do you do? Oh, he flew. I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. When he enlisted, he was like, okay, so he didn't fly.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. It's always amazing how people have no idea, but anyway, Semper Fi, do or die, 1775, 249. Thanks to, help me remember here, Donnie Bowers, Sean Shepard,
Brandon Teal,
Master Gunnery Sergeant Select Teal, Nova Sky, What other Marines have we had on?
Nolan Hickey.
Nolan Hickey, Andrew Herbert.
That dude who makes memes.
Yep. Lance Corporal, Lance Captain USMCR, 7. Man, have we had 7 Marines on this podcast? That's incredible. Maybe more.
CrossFit. Who's the CrossFit gym owner?
He's Army. He was Army. Yeah, Jim DeNova. Well, it counted on Veterans Day.
Yeah.
If the Army or the Navy.
I told some guy I think we were walking out and he goes, "Oh yeah, happy Veterans Day." I'm like, "Oh, were you in?" He's like, "Yeah, I was in the Navy." I go, "Oh, Marine Corps Uber," and he got kind of upset by that.
Yeah, I always enjoy that.
Oops.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. Sucks to suck.
Sucks to suck.
You made your choice.
Yeah, you can be an A&M grad, or you could have gone to Southern Methodist. Wasn't my fault which one you chose.
What? Which one's the right one in this case? I don't know what your angle is.
I get that.
That's the point. Confusion.
Oh.
All right. Did we wrap up?
Good slide.
Yeah.
Good slide.
Although I think to piggyback off of that slide.
Save ground. Got it.
Seems like there was maybe a text message picture you sent on, I guess, probably the Marine Corps birthday to a fellow Marine, and it turned out this person had changed their number. I don't know how you want to tap dance around that slide, but I'm here for it.
I'm gonna let my mom listen to this slide, but it needs to be done. It needs to be done because it's just real life.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. So let's just say that Marines like phallic objects, and like a pastime is drawing them.
Yes.
And then the worst thing you can do, and this is advice to company grades. If you are a company grade officer, particularly a captain, if you're a lieutenant, brace it, roll with it. The boys will love you. If you're a captain and you're like supposed to monitor it, if you try to moderate or monitor it, it only gets worse. And so we had a captain that tried to moderate the amount of phallic images being drawn in the battery office, which only made everyone draw them and put them everywhere.
So this was an officer.
No, the person I texted was not an officer.
Oh, okay.
But the person that there was sparks the outbreak.
Yeah, there was a time in Tango Battery where it was just when you woke up, you were like, I need to PT. I need to make sure my launcher has digicomms with the FTC. And I need to draw a dick today. Like those are the 3 requirements that I have as a Tango Battery Marine. And so Schroeder was known for this one drawing that was like a HIMARS launcher. We were HIMARS at the time. And just every aspect of it was genital. Like the tires, the cab, but it looked like a HIMARS launcher. And my favorite part is
actually pretty impressive.
There's a pod off to the side that like is just nothing but phallic images. A PJ, I'd throw it on the screen, but don't, because then when we check, no, it's not made for kids, we'll get flagged by YouTube, so we'll leave it off.
It's whatever your imagination thinks it is. It might be a little
exactly
bit worse.
what it is.
And then add a few more male genitalia to it. Yeah,
male genitalia. That's the word I was looking for. But it's everywhere. But it looks like a HIMARS launcher with a pod to the side. And so there's like you texting Major Sergeant. I got like different threads, like Tango Battery staff NCOs, all of our lieutenants, like all these things are going. And in all of them, there permeates this one image. And to be fair to the people listening that also know that we just talked about communion and I'm a Southern Baptist, there's nothing wrong with it. It's like it's like a pencil drawing. Like it's not like actually anything crazy. And so I'm thinking about Schroeder and I'm like, I haven't talked to Schroeder. And I open it and I was like, oh man, I haven't texted him on the birthday in 3 years. And so I'm like, I'm just going to send it to him. So I sent him the photo and I say, happy birthday, devil. And I get a response.
With the picture.
It was like, yeah, with the picture I sent it. And it says, who's this? And that's where the guy got me. Cause I was like sitting there like, and I was like, it's definitely Schroeder. Like people haven't changed their numbers since the 90s.
Yeah, true.
Like once you're an adult, you just like go to the new carrier you're like, that's
unless you're in
the number or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I don't know why you would.
Yeah. So it's like, who's this? So then I'm like, Semper Fi, do or die, Major Broggi. And then the person's like, Wrong number, brother. Killer pick, though. Go Trump. When I saw the Go Trump, I just started crying. I was like literally in tears. I was like, wait a minute. You're telling me you saw a photo of something that was military related, but covered or guised as male genitalia, and your first instinct to write back was killer pick, go Trump? You're like, that's why Oklahoma's going to win the football game on Sunday or Saturday, boys.
We might need to keep this text thread going. I think we could be friends. Do you want to be on the OK podcast? Like,
yeah. Oh, we should. I should just write him back. Hey, man, I got a podcast. You want to come on and talk about this text message? It's a good idea. Yeah, it was wild.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Next slide.
Oh, man. All right.
Sorry,
Trey
Mom.
posted.
Sorry, Mom.
We got a question that got posted. Is this, I guess, on the Starting Strength X page?
Oh, dude, I thought that was a good question.
Yeah. Do you want me to just?
Do you want
Yeah,
to
you read it. I don't want to butcher
Okay.
it. I remember. I just want to butcher it.
Okay. It says.
This actual lifting question. Wow.
Wait, actually, let's do this real quick. I'm a new dad. I'm short on time. Hey, guys, and welcome back. It's Grant Broggi from the Strength Co. We're live on the OK Podcast, and we have a question that we think you may like the answer to. If you like the video, like and subscribe to the channel. Jordy, this is a YouTube video. Go ahead.
All right. So this is posted on the Starting Strength X page. It says, discussion topic. On a work set, is it better to fail correctly or succeed incorrectly? What is the range of allowance on each?
What do you think that question means, Trey? Not
So
to be
if you're-
philosophical, but
What I took that question as is if you're in your work set, let's say you're on your second or let's say you're on your final, you're in the novice program, 3 sets of 5, and you're on your last, you do your first one, and you're like, oh, I went high on that one, or your form is starting to go. Like, is it better to complete it and get 5 bad ones, or should you do, hey, I'm going to do one good one, but I might fail?
okay, I think it's
Is that the way you took it?
Yeah, that's kind of how I took it. I didn't think depth in the squat, and that changes my answer a little bit. Because what I think in the squat, and I coach all the time, is tell people, I would rather you do 3 correct than 5 wrong, right? So, and what I mean by that is depth. If they're squatting high, I don't want them to not squat high. So I'd rather them do 3, hip crease breaks parallel, and they fail number 4. I think that's good. If they're squatting 4 inches high on every rep, I'd rather them squat to depth. However, if they're squatting and they have knee slide, or they're leaving the hips too soon and pulling the chest up, and they're grinding, right? If you ever watch really heavy squats by efficient lifters, the grind should never really look bad, right? It's just I'm driving my hips up, the bar's over mid-foot, and it's slow. What usually happens is there's some type of form breakdown, and so the knees slide forward, or the back rounds out, or they breathe out, or they pull their head up, and the chest starts coming up, and then it's hard because they're no longer being efficient, which is the whole point of why we teach the squat the way we do it. Not saying it's the only way to squat, but the low bar back squat is the efficient way to squat the most weight. So in the squat, I would say it's better to go deep and miss reps. On the deadlift, on the other hand, not saying everyone should deadlift with cat backs, but there is a learning thing that occurs of I have lost position. My form is no longer correct. My low back is rounded out, but I, even though this sucks really bad, am going to finish the rep. And I think there's a lot of value in that of just I'll coach someone through a set of 5. Rep 1 looks great. Rep 2, little rounding. Rep 3, a lot of rounding. Rep 4, head positions in the wrong place. And I'm just like, dude, you got to finish this set. Or girl, you got to get 5. You must finish. And there's this doubt in their mind that you can see, and you scream at them or yell at them or whatever you do, or you coach them. And then they finish the rep, and they finish, they're like, wow, I could do that. So I think there's instances depending on the lift, and I think the press and the bench, you're either going to miss those or not. I think you can definitely make form errors in the press and the bench, but I think it's the squat and the deadlift where like form breakdown could be, quote, bad. I also don't think I think if you're pulling 395 for 5 and the first 3 look great and number 5 is rounded out, like, I don't think you're going to crack your spine. I think it's okay. I think you should be trying to hold your back in position. I don't think I answered the question, but I guess my thought would be, I don't want you to not do the complete range of motion.
Yeah.
I think if you're doing the complete, if you're doing the complete range of motion, I think it's okay to finish it incorrectly, especially having coached like a wide variety of people. The problem usually is not form. It's like the guts to go for it, right? Like I hate when someone lets go a rep 3 and I'm like, do you understand how many sets of 5 I've watched? You definitely had 2 more, but they stop and then they'll say something like, my back was rounding out, which is like a valid thing to bring up. But yeah, I'd rather the person finish it. I think there's more learning there. And I don't think the risk is as bad as people think. You're not, like, your back is not going to break in half. It's most of the form stuff that's taught is for efficiency, or it's for attempting to use stuff, right? So if your first 3 reps of the deadlift, your back is flat, I know that you are contracting your lumbar muscles and you're bracing your abs and you're trying to hold. And what's happening is now you're fatigued and there's some rounding. If you just go rip the bar off rep 1 and you look like a cat in the toilet, like, we have a problem. But if it's form breakdown throughout the set and the load is moving and it's a new load and you're getting the whole range of motion, I'm just going to tell you, hell yeah, brother, finish the set.
Now,
hell yeah, brother.
Caveat off that, man. If, let's say, they had not the greatest form and then they went up, would you tell them to go up next week and like, hey, try to add more weight?
Yeah. Good question. So we had a guy on Slack this week or today that posted a set of 5. And last week, I forgot what it was, might have been like 375. And he posted a set of 5 last week. I was like, hey, you need to lock your knees out. And if you watch his deadlift, common mistake, get it to the hips and people try to lean the bar back and it's a hitch. And in competition, it's very easy to see like, oh, he's hitching. In a set of 5, it's more like there's a rebend happening to extend the hips, which makes you feel like you're up, but then the rep never gets finished. So like that guy, I'm like, hey, don't panic. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, probably 20 pounds need to come off and you need to train your brain to lock the knee out. Some of it depends on the error, but I think minor breakdowns, like if it's like, hey, I'm locking out every set, I'm completing the range of motion, but reps 4 and 5 look like trash, and I'm at the end of my NLP, I'm going to tell him to go up. If he's not squatting to depth, I'm going to say stop going up. I'm not necessarily going to say go down in weight, because if you just did 215 for 3 sets of 5 to depth, and then now at 220 you're squatting high, that's a you problem, because like the adaptation occurred. It's only 5 pounds of difference. Like you can totally do this. You're just scared. You're mental. You're in your brains. But I think I guess my excuse me. I guess my answer would be most of the time I would say go up, unless you're not finishing the range of motion. And I'm not saying that form doesn't matter. Obviously, form matters a lot, but the bigger problem having coached a wide variety of people is most people just quit. And like if you're gonna get strong and lift heavy, you have to learn how not to quit. And I'm also very against taking weight off. Everyone wants an excuse to make it easier. Mm-hmm. So I squat 235 and maybe they're all a little bit high and they're like, okay, therefore I need to reset and go back down to 200. No, you just need to commit to sinking your squats, right? So I'm coaching. The form part is about efficiency, but the hard part is about mental toughness. And that's like the part that you end up coaching a lot more. But yeah, no, I thought that was a good question. Yeah. Starting strength, we answered it. If you'd like to post this on your YouTube, you can. Just tag BW Tags, LLC.com.
Love it. I wonder if that mental game is that just a learned thing over time?
I mean, what do you think? You've lifted a lot of weights, both of you guys.
Trey, what do you think?
Yeah, Trey, you're live.
Yeah, I don't know. I get in my head probably more than anything on deadlift.
Yeah,
and then once I do the first one, like I know how the other 4 are going to go.
Yeah.
And and that's usually, if I can get over that first one, then I'm good. But it's always that first one that I'm usually in my head the most. Because then like I'll do the first one, I'm like, that was okay. Let's just knock it. And by the time like I finish thinking about it, like I'm on 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
1 rep at a time.
It's
I think
it's definitely the first one that I've always
the mental
with.
thing's like a curve, or the mental thing's like a curve. So like you take like a 180 pound guy, and he's new to the gym. And you're like, hey, you're going to deadlift and your potential is 405 pounds. And that sounds absurd to them. Like it sounds absolutely crazy. Like they've always gone to the gym and deadlifted like 155 for 6 or they've never gone to the gym. And then at some point there's like a realization of like, oh, if I work really hard, I will actually get stronger and be able to do more. And to me, that's what you're always trying to coach the person through is, I get it. You weigh 180 pounds, but that is 360 and you can totally do it. And there's some type of like mental breakthrough that happens. This is why you have Corky, 88 now. I can deadlift 150 pounds. This is why like my mom will go into the gym or the garage by herself at 66 and pull 250 for a triple because like they cross this point of like not being scared of the weights. Yes, it's hard, but they're no longer, there's like this threshold people have to pass where it's like, they don't tie hard to injury. And I think that's where you're always trying to get people past. Like just because it's hard doesn't mean you're going to be injured. And I had a guy last week I was coaching, really cool guy. And he's, deadlifting, he's like 50, deadlifting like 250, something like that. He's like, where am I more likely to get injured? Squatting or deadlifting? And I was like, getting out of your truck. And he's like, no, but seriously, I'm like, no, I'm dead serious. I was like when you're in here, especially like you've hired a starting strength coach and you're thinking about mechanics and how to be efficient, like you're most likely not going to get injured here. You're going to get injured like baby cried. Oh man, let me go grab it. Oh, I just did something weird to my back. Like those are when those things happen. It's the tipping point. Getting past the fear.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Good question.
I like it. Let's see. East Coasters saying Cali.
I want you guys to answer this before me. I know that's all I wrote for context, but I want you guys to just think about that. And then, because Trey, you lived in California for 6 years?
Yeah.
5? Jeff?
3 to 4, yeah.
3,
7,
okay, 4. Jeff,
8,
7. Okay,
7,
me
8,
12. What comes to mind when you think of that?
East Coaster saying Cali? Like not sarcastically?
No. Does nothing come to mind? Maybe it's a moot point.
I'm like, I don't think you rate that. I don't think you rate Cali.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's kind of silly.
Yeah.
I think it's silly when people from California say it.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, but
I don't ever call it Cali.
Do you think that that's my point is what Jeff said. Like when you lived in California, did you ever say Cali?
In all seriousness, no.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you
I said
like
it like jokingly, yeah.
Like no one says Cali is my point.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like I'm married to a California. No one says it. And like I'll meet, like I just ran into some Citadel alumni this weekend. They're like, so you're out in Cali for a while, huh? And I'm like, what? Like
we used to be friends. I remember that.
Yeah, what?
There's a reason it's been a while since we've talked.
Yeah. I just always think that's like really funny when they're like Cali. I'm like, no one says that.
Okay.
I say it in text, I guess. That's the only time I would say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy and I'm dyslexic.
Just say CA.
Yeah.
Oh, so you say Cali. CAILI. LI. Oh, LI. Even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought it was funny.
Okay.
Short and sweet. Good slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good slide. Next slide.
Okay, let's see. Cleaning up. Grant, you put in the Slack gaslighting. When you're just talking about the Democratic campaign.
Grant just has a train of thought.
It's 2 a.m. I'm holding the baby. I'm just like, has anyone been able to explain to you what gaslighting means?
Yeah.
Okay. Can one of you explain it to me? Because I don't understand.
I think it came. I can't remember what movie it came from, but it was like a movie back from like the 50s, and it was. I think it might have been called Gaslight or Gaslighting, and then I think it's a history of it and the whole premise of the movie.
Can you gaslight me right now?
Yeah, dude. I can. Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Give me a topic. Give me a topic to gaslight you on.
See, this
inflation.
is where I don't even know where to start. Yeah, inflation. The price of Bitcoin.
Price of Bitcoin. So it would essentially just be me saying, like, hey, I think Bitcoin. No, I can't do it.
Grant,
you got
the
it.
economy is stronger than ever right now. The economy is amazing. This is the best economy we've ever had, thanks to the Biden administration. This is the best economy ever. The data clearly proves it, Grant.
So it's just called lying.
Yeah, basically. It's
essentially something like if you and I both know it's true.
You are like, this is fact, and like I have evidence, but then like usually many other people are like telling you, no, that is not true. The statistics that you're looking at, that is all funded by
wait, so the second person is the gaslighter.
Yeah, it's essentially if we get into an argument or you accuse me of something, I deny.
A&M is worse than the Gamecocks.
I deny, and I make counter accusations. That's gaslighting.
Yeah. So is it like guilt tripping?
It would be more of like
confusion.
Like if you said, hey, like you stole my Tesla, I'd be like, I didn't steal your Tesla, man. When did you have a Tesla? Like you didn't have a Tesla.
Okay.
It's like, basically
like
trying to convince you.
It's like trying to make you
that the reality that you know is not correct. To trick you into being like, oh, maybe this is a great economy. I don't know.
I think I got it.
Okay.
I think I got it. Let me try this as a sales pitch for the strength coach. Okay. Trey keeps quitting his deadlift after rep 3 every time. And I watch it and I'm like, he could totally do 5. And then I'm like, dude, you know what you're missing out on? The Slack channel. If you were in the Slack channel, you could do 5 reps. Is that right?
No, that's not really it.
No.
It would be more of me being like, I think if three reps is probably equally or more efficient than 5 reps is getting stronger.
Yeah, I've seen the articles.
Gaslighting me.
Yeah, I would turn around and gaslight you.
I've seen so many public, peer-reviewed articles about why 3 reps is so superior to 5 reps.
I've heard 5 reps is actually just bad for you.
It's dangerous. It makes you weaker.
Yeah.
It makes you weaker, Grant.
But I know to be true that 5 reps is superior.
Everyone knows it's true. Right?
No. I have articles that will show you, Grant.
Okay. I'm more confused than when I arrived, but that's why I put it.
We'll light these gas lamps, and then you'll see. Yeah.
Which I think that's the goal of gaslighting is just to confuse you and not be upset.
You know those lamps that have like oil in the bottom and the little wick? I'm gonna start selling those out in the Strength Co. Made out of
cast iron.
Made out of cast iron.
Strength Co. gaslighting.
45-pound lamp.
The gas lamp. I'm going to sell it to all the residents of Oklahoma.
Gaslight. These lamps will make you stronger. That'd be gaslighting.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
That's good.
Good slide.
That's good.
Trying to explain gaslighting.
I didn't see the full episode. Oh, you don't get it? I didn't see the full episode of Saturday Night Live, but I did watch a couple of the skits from Bill Burr. I really liked the Buffalo Wild Wings one.
That was my favorite.
That was so good.
Oh, with the Patriots fan?
Yeah.
I just liked it because so you interviewed Bill Burr on Emerson Radio?
No.
I'm not.
No, he went to Emerson.
I'm gaslighting you.
No.
He's learning. No, Jeff, you did interview him. I remember you told me that.
He did, right, Trey?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just
because you said he wasn't as funny in person.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I must be mistaken.
Light that gaslight.
The smoking lamp is lit.
I love the smoking lamp.
No, I just thought Bill Burr. Like, I haven't tuned into Saturday maybe once in my life.
I don't think many people have recently.
Yeah, but it was good. And I was like, great. Emerson grad, Bill basically Burr. The OK podcast.
That's right.
Yeah, it was good.
I feel like this current Saturday Night Live cast it's okay. They're okay.
It's okay.
It's not like an all-time great, but there's some
who does the news? Colin Jost and Michael Che.
Yeah, I do like them.
Best thing that Grant's good at is people naming celebrities.
Yep.
Yep. especially like
fairly obscure ones.
especially C-list celebrities.
Yeah, that's accurate.
I feel like that's a fair categorization of those two. Yeah.
Also, like how you have your baby fan in here. Isn't that thing awesome?
Here. It's the Grant fan.
Dude, this thing has never been pointed at the baby. It's just constantly for Grant. Everyone says, like, what's fatherhood like? And I just say hot. Sweet. Yeah. And they're like, what? I'm like, I'm always hot. Like the battery just died. Ugh. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Any slides? Alibis?
I think, gentlemen, we can cut to the last slide for Commander's comments.
I got an alibi.
Good alibi.
I'm one episode in, soon to probably finish it. What's the Boston Red Sox documentary you told me to watch?
Oh, so good. The Comeback.
I just finished episode 1 right before we hopped on.
I gotta watch it.
You loved it, right?
Well, the only thing I'm upset about is I had to hop on this podcast. I couldn't watch the next 2.
Yeah. That's how I feel every night when I watch The Town.
Every night.
You watch every Tuesday?
I watch The Town way too many times. That's a whole podcast. We could just break down The Town. I don't have any Commanders comments. If you listen to this podcast and you're a Marine, happy birthday. Because you're not done yet. It goes all in November. My ball is the 23rd. So a week from Saturday, if that math checks out. But it is cool. Semper Fi.
Happy Veterans Day.
Yeah. Happy Veterans Day to everyone that served. Let's see. We got the turkey poll this Saturday in Newport Beach, California. I think we have 56, something like that, participants. So the Semper Fi and America's Fun will be there. Give them a big fat check. So if you bought a T-shirt and you're doing a remote, which is probably about another 50 folks, all that money is going to them. Yep. Jeff got 2, I think. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate it. Those will start mailing on Monday. So if you listen to this on Friday, you'll get it in the mail next week. FedEx 2-day express, they never miss a deadline. Thanks for supporting the turkey poll. If you're just like, hey, probably can't get a shirt, but all this Marine talk has me motivated. We keep $0 of that. Everything that comes out as profit, we just put on a check. So if you want to go spend some money and maybe get a shirt, you can still do that. And I'll take it down. At this point of the show, do we just do an ad read off the cuff?
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. Let's just do that before we hand it over to Trey. So I guess I'll start. We'll go to Jeff. Actually, this has been episode 046 of the
Okay
Guidons. Podcast, still powered by Strico. Thanks to our sponsors, BW Tax. What I like about BW is not only does he know the tax code, but he knows the dad code. And he knows the dad code that meets the tax code. So like, hey, you have a dependent. That changes things. Everything you've been doing, slightly different. Let me tell you how this baby can keep money in your pockets. And I'm like, you know what? If he wasn't a caring, loving dad, he wouldn't be able to give me this type of advice. And if he wasn't raised in New England, but lives in South Carolina, he wouldn't understand how to talk to me. So that's one of my favorite things about BW Tax. Jeff?
this will parallel your point a little bit, but learning about BW and his love for college football, for the veer, and all like the deep dive data analytics he did on the veer, and then bringing it to the Citadel shows me that he's just a super detail oriented guy. And so he's going to be looking for those little things that you're not seeing, and really just understanding the ins and outs, all the red tape that the government's put up there to try to take your money. Well, BW is going to say, no. I know actually how this tax code works. And yep, you're going to keep this money in your pocket, and you're going to be able to spend it on football tickets to go see the most exciting team in college sports.
Go Dogs.
You stole mine. I was going to say he's not the father of the veer, but he's like a distant cousin. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
He's definitely related to the veer.
Oh, yeah.
He basically brought the fullback back to fighting taxes. That's how I've always explained it.
He's definitely definitely the fullback of taxes. Yeah. So like come tax season, he's the one that he goes through the whole first.
Follow him.
Gives you a clear running lane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's not doing it for himself.
No,
he's doing it for you.
Honestly, he was voted most selfless man in South Carolina, which says a lot.
10 years over.
It's 10 years over.
PJ, just grab a little video of Mike Alstott doing something very fullback related, put on BW's head, and just have it run across the screen.
Yeah. Touchdown. Alstott again, and he leaps in. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
All right, Trey, do what you do every week for 46 weeks.
46. Oh, my goodness. Flown by. This has been episode 46 of the...
Okay.
If you couldn't tell... We do love BW Tax because he's a really good guy. But besides that, better at taxes. I'd like to thank him for keeping the lights on as always. I believe we're still powered by the Strength Co. Verified.
Last I checked.
Last we checked. Hey, if you check the show notes below, you'll find a link to the Slack channel. Click that, join that, use code OK, get a little discount action. Love to interact with you there. You got any questions about lifting, questions about life? You can find all the answers there. You have something to say? No? Okay. Continue. You can find us on YouTube, see our faces. If you're not subscribed at this point, you know what? Just what's wrong with your life? I don't know what you're doing. Go ahead and like and subscribe there. If you go to www.theokpodcast.com, you will find all the social media links. Give us a follow on that. We all have our each and individual social media accounts. Grant has his, I have mine. Jeff is constant. He's live right now.
And
we're in the talks. We might make it Truth Social. I don't know. We're thinking about it. Yeah. Coach, I miss anything?
No, I think that's it. I think X just is Truth Social now. But, All right. Thanks for joining in. We'll see you next time.